How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers picking at 14? They package a third and a fourth round pick, and they go up to number 9 where the Jacksonville Jaguars are. They go up there to get ahead of the Cleveland Browns to get a tackle in Mekhi Becton that can plug in right away at right tackle to give a nice bookend combination there for Tom Brady. And I think it would work out well for the Jags. They get a couple extra picks. They slide back to 14. I still think they have a good shot to get Javon Kinlaw. Remember, they lost Calais Campbell to the Baltimore Ravens in that trade. Now you replace him with Javon Kinlaw. I think this could work out for both teams.
I like that. Bucky, do you have another trade you'd like to see?
Oh, I absolutely have a trade. The last two MVPs were quarterbacks that were traded up for, so I got another one. How about the New Orleans Saints trading their 5th round pick this year, 1st round pick next year with the Denver Broncos to move up and get Jordan Love? I think it's a great pick for the New Orleans Saints because it gives them an opportunity to get a young quarterback that can sit behind Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, learn Sean Payton's system, and it gives Sean Payton a young, dynamic quarterback to build around. Then the Denver Broncos, they still can address the cornerback need by getting A.J. Terrell in the bottom of the 1st round.
That sounds like 2 wins right there to me. And guys, since these are trades that we'd like to see happen and not necessarily those we expect to see, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with mine here, a little bit of chaos and mayhem because that's what I love on the first night of the draft. Look, I'm going to involve the Jacksonville Jaguars again here, DJ, like you did, but I'm going to have them moving all the way up to the number 3 spot. Now, we haven't talked about the Jags as really being in that market for a first-round quarterback this year, although they did trade Nick Foles. They do have Gardner Minshew there. But what if they love one of these quarterbacks so much so that they want to trade up to that 3 spot with the Lions, who are open for business, and the Jags go and get Tua Tagovailoa in front of the Dolphins and in front of the Chargers. And in order to get there, they're going to send Yannick Ngakoue, who has said he wants out of Jacksonville. They're going to send him to Detroit. So they do that. They're going to also send a 3rd-round pick to Detroit to move up those 6 spots. And they get the quarterback of their future. And I think this works out so much so for the Lions, there's a scenario where they could still get Jeff Okudah, the cornerback out of Ohio State that we've been mocking to them at number 3, all the way down there at number 9. What do you think?
Wow, my head is exploding right now, Rhett. But I do like the fact that if you're Detroit, you can get a proven commodity as well as a top 10 player. So I think it works out from their standpoint. But I'm not ready to give up on Minshew mania yet, Buck. That to me is the one portion I don't see happening because I think they like Minshew.
They may like Gardner Minshew, but let's remember he was a late-round pick. And if you have an opportunity to get a franchise quarterback, particularly one that is coveted at the top of the board, I think you have to make the move. You should let Gardner Minshew's success as a rookie prevent you from maybe getting better at the position.
I'm going to go with the Lions, one of my former teams. Listen, they're sitting there at number 3, and I know everybody's saying that Jeff Okudah is a surefire pick to go at the cornerback position. But listen, they addressed that as soon as the season ended. They traded away Darius Slay to the Philadelphia Eagles. They brought in veteran corner Desmond Trufant. So they have the cornerback position safe. So listen, you use that draft pick at number 3 as capital. You can get more if you trade that away. You slide back in that draft, and you can get another cornerback. Just like they're saying this is a deep wide receiver draft, you know what? There's some good cornerbacks in this draft as well. So even if you pass on Jeff Okudah, you can get another corner later in the draft.
You can. There's a lot of good ones, Nate. And I know that because I watched the entire Peter Schrager, Daniel Jeremiah mock draft special, and then I watched the re-air. I've had nothing going on. I practically memorized it. And one of my favorite parts is when they get to the New Orleans Saints and they kind of say, I don't know, they're just so good. They don't really have any needs. How do you draft? Nonsense. There's always needs. Listen, my liquor cabinet is fully stocked. There's still needs. 3 times this week I've bought enough booze to last me for a whole month. And there are always places for the Saints where they can go. The most dangerous kind of pick is the pick you don't need. That's the luxury pick. That's the screw it pick. So let's just go get a luxury item. And can't you see Sean Payton going into this season, a season in which Drew Brees is signed with NBC to be a broadcaster a year from now, that Sean Payton says, you know what? Let's get nuts. One last ride. Let's move up from 24 and let's get a number 2 receiver, a number 3 receiver, anybody to go with Thomas and Sanders. Let's get Judy. Let's get Ruggs. Let's get nuts. This pick for me, for Sean Payton, has the feeling of lighting the lighter, throwing it over his shoulder, and walking away in slow motion from the explosion. I want the Saints to make a move to finally get over that hump.
Oh, I love it, Kyle. And I could see Chris Collinsworth pulling a Drew Brees to what he did to Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill this year and said, not so fast, guys. I ain't going anywhere. I'll still be that NBC's #1 guy as long as I want to be. I look at the 49ers. I look at the 49ers because here's this team that gets to the Super Bowl. They come so close. And then they make this giant splash trade to get the 13th overall pick for DeForest Buckner. But I'm looking at their draft picks. They only have first-round picks in the first 2 days, meaning they have the 13th, the 31st. They have no second-round picks and no third-round picks, which would mean that 31st pick becomes very interesting. So if you're the Niners at 13, take the corner, take the wide receiver, take whatever you want at 13. It's going to be a prime position. But at 31, I'd be looking to trade back. And I would tell any team looking to trade back into the first round for a player that might have unexpectedly slipped, we're open for business. Come and make a call. Come and get that 31st pick. Because, guys, remember, a couple years back, 32nd overall pick. It was the Ravens who traded back into the first round to get Lamar Jackson. And before that, it was the Vikings who traded back into the first round to get Teddy Bridgewater. 31 and 32, a lot of teams like trading back in to get that first-round talent and get them on that 5-year option deal. I think that's a very, very enticing thing for the 49ers. Trade back, get some more picks, and then let's play ball.
I love that. And if I'm looking at another team out in California, the LA Chargers, I am moving up, getting my quarterback of the future to usher in a new wave, a new regime, a new stadium, among those things. Jump the Dolphins, land, spicy Tua roll, and let's do this thing, Shriggs.